Well, joining us now on India Decides is the External Affairs Minister, Mr. S.M. Krishna. So thank you for speaking to us tonight. You went to Australia last year where you really tried to reach out in a big way to the government there to do something about these attacks. Then there were a number of visits by the Australian leadership here, including by the Prime Minister. But nothing's really changed. In a sense, things have become worse because now you've had the first student death as well. Are you deeply disappointed by the lack of action?
Well, there are different interpretations given to these attacks. The Australian government keeps telling us that these are opportunistic urban crime. But there are others, who look at it from the other side of the fence and say that there is a racial tinge in these attacks. But what is surprising is that there are a number of foreign students in Australia, in Melbourne, in Sydney, and perhaps in other cities. There are a number of foreign students, and unfortunately, it is only a section of foreign students who are mainly from India that are being attacked. So I think this angle needs to be looked into a little more deeply by the Australian authorities.
So you had mentioned recently that, this is now beginning to affect our diplomatic relations with Australia as well. Would you say that in a sense that has already happened?
Well, if it continues the way it has been in the last few days, I'm afraid the flow of Indian students to Australia might slow down and then ultimately taper off also.
Right.
This will have to be kept in mind by the Australian authorities and also the provincial governments.
But then at some time, sir, your patience will be tested because, as I said, it seems to be getting progressively worse. You have the student death, then you have a Gurdwara being set on fire.
I should think so. I'm sure that the Australian authorities would take cognizance of the fact that India talks softly, but certainly when the decisive moment comes, India can also act.
Tuba.com